Second chances in believing in people. Today we are here to talk about making budget available for people to get something even more important, and that is any chance at all. Over the past year, we've seen so many stars in both sports and the arts, both young and experienced, realize their God-granted potential to make us proud and say that we are South Africans. We must be honest, though, that what our homegrown talents are achieving is often despite the circumstances they are facing, and not because of the platforms we are giving them. Our amazing success on the field is too often balanced by the dysfunction we continue to face off the field. Ours is a system that too often still excludes the majority of people in this country, from school age right through their adult lives. We are realizing perhaps just 5% of our potential as a country, and still we are winning at just about everything we turn our hands and hearts to. Sipho in Kalicha can't play hockey because the price of a hockey stick comes at the cost of a week's food for his family. There are many Siphos in South Africa, and we face similar challenges in the music industry. We have many successful people who have received training in acting, music and singing, but many more who've had to make it by relying on raw talent. They are the exceptions. Imagine if more of us had a chance to hone these great talents and be guided in expressing them. We've heard from many people over the past year, we've truly heard from many people who have been resistant to the changes being brought in this department. They want to see familiar decisions and behavior. But how can we rely on the old way of doing things if the old ways have not solved the problems of the past 3 decades? Change is difficult, but it is necessary. Otherwise, Sipho and the other Siphos and Shashas will never play hockey one day for a gold medal at the Olympics. That's why this budget signifies us trying to start doing things differently. These changes will keep coming as we continue to adapt and change how we spend and support our plans to make sport, the arts and culture accessible to all Siphos, Celines, Salmans and Siamtandas. Today I want to bring honor to our cricket players, netball heroines, the Springboks, our Olympic squad, the sprinters and runners, our boxing champions, our swimmers and so many more. Of all the people I've met over the past year, I would like to tell you a story of a group of young, bulky Afrikaners that came to see me last year to help popularize the sport. I knew very little about their sport, which is called strongman. I approached many sponsors on their behalf. I worked the phones. Most people were not interested, except Supersport and Betway. A year after, the majority of companies did not give a positive response. Most of them were calling me back, asking me to be introduced to the world's strongest man, Reno Nel. If you had told me that this rookie would be crowned the strongest man in the world, not even a year after that knock on my door, you could have knocked me over with a feather. This is a simple example of how, with support, we can defeat the world's best at about anything as South Africans. Nothing illustrates that South Africa has unmined gold waiting in our townships, Cape Flats and Kleindorpies like this story. I see my term as a minister as a continuation of my previous job of being a miner, looking for human gold. Access and opportunity matter. Even the greatest of talent need that opportunity. This is why, to invest in all our talent, both in sport and in the arts and culture, as well as preserving our heritage, the department has a budget of 6.3 billion over the 25-26 financial year. Under Program 2, Recreation, Development and Sport Promotion, we are allocating 1.2 billion. To keep supporting sport in our country, we'll be allocating 98.5 million towards federation sport and federation support. One of the biggest changes coming for our federations will be the provision of an office building for them to share. As many have been running their sports out of the boots of their cars, They have been trying to save sports under the most trying circumstances. We will be professionalizing the approach and allowing different sports to benefit from the concept of shared services. We are also finalizing the process of funding video assistant refereeing, VAR, to ensure that football matches from the Premier Soccer League to the international fixtures we host are fairer and meet global standards. It is a necessity. We see stadiums being vandalized when bad refereeing happens, which is quite often. And the success of teams like Mamelodi Sundowns make global teams want to play in South Africa, but they get second thoughts when they hear we don't have VAR. Since we last stood here and shared our vision for Team South Africa at the LA Games in 2028, the draft document on Project 350 has been developed. Late last year, we traveled to the Olympic House in Switzerland to register our interest in hosting a Summer Olympic Games in South Africa in 2036. We've already engaged the cabinet clusters, and South Africa is well positioned to become the first African country to host an Olympics in nearly a century and a half. We count on the support of all South Africans to make it happen. Many laughed when I uttered the words Formula One, that Formula One must come back to South Africa. But I want to bring honor to one man in particular who didn't laugh. His name is Toby Venter, the owner of the Kalami racetrack. When I told him that government doesn't have the money to host Formula One because of more urgent priorities, this South African, Toby Venter, said he's in a position to help make his track and uplift it to F1 standards. He looked me in the eye and he said he would see it as his patriotic duty to do that. That was a year ago. I stand here today to tell you that the FIA, the FIFA of motorsport, has given the green light for the upgrading of the track. We've had multiple meetings with the management of F1, with a crucial one happening in the next 2 weeks. To those who say the country can't afford to host the F1, I'm saying the country can't afford not to host the F1. When you set the bar high for a country, as we have done in the past, you can't afford to take the bar back down. We hosted the best FIFA World Cup. We put our country on the map for big events and should not turn back now. What will be different this time, though, is that government will not be expected to pay. Companies like MTN, MultiChoice, Heineken, and many more have raised their hands and said, here we are, tomorrow now. They will be present with us in the meeting with Formula One at the end of the month. We've even had patriots who've told us, whenever you need help, come to us. One of them being the richest man in the country, Johan Rupert. Those who are saying Formula One is not important should consider the countries who are holding on to the F1 spots on the calendar. They see the value in it, and it can't be called the World Championship if it misses an entire continent, sub-Saharan in Africa in particular. While on the topic of motorsport, I want to thank everyone who has joined us in our mission to grow the sport of spinning. I want to thank Red Bull and Celsi in particular. People were laughing when we said we're going to make spinning big. But already this sport has left the townships. And now Sam is wowing the likes of Max Verstappen with his skills in Austria. We are keenly exploring the potential of bringing a Live Golf event to South Africa as early as next year, especially given the platform that this exciting new tournament also gives to performing artists on world-class stages after the golf clubs have been put back in their bags at the end of every day's play. As part of investing and cultivating our domestic talent during the 2025-26 financial year, the department has allocated a total of more than 627 million through the conditional grant to support, amongst many things, equipment and attire for schools, clubs, hubs, the training of people through coaching, technical officiating, and administration courses and employment. Thousands of schools participate in the school sports program and the National School Sports Championship, while hundreds of community leagues are supported through grant funding. You cannot be competitive at Olympics and elsewhere if school sport is not working. I want to thank FNB, who are about to put major investment into school sport for boosting league competition. Under Program 4, Heritage Program and Preservation, we have allocated 2.7 billion, which include an amount of 1.6 billion for the building, maintenance, upgrading, and operationalization of our much valued libraries. Following the success of our inaugural program to return the remains of South African fallen heroes from Zimbabwe and Zambia last year, we shall continue to repatriate the human remains of freedom fighters who fell outside the country during the struggle. Our heroes who fought for us back, Duma Nokwe, Bezel February, Tot Matikita, and Me Florence Muposho, have been brought home. I'm told there could still be 5,000 bodies that need to be returned, and we shall not rest until they are home. Heading into the current financial year, our technical team is expanding the focus to Angola, Lesotho, while work continues in Zambia and Zimbabwe. We shall soon conclude the reburial of 50 ancestral remains from the Northern Cape, guided by the Northern Cape Reburial Task Team, which represent the Nama, the Griqua, the Korana, and the San communities. Last month, under the theme Reimagining South African Heritage for a New Era, we started the important process of seeing our museums entering the digital age, becoming relevant to a new curious generation of increasing visitors. One of the first projects we are focusing on is Robben Island, which is undergoing a major revamp and facelift as I'm speaking. We are fixing the transport challenges of Robben Island. We will recognize every former prisoner. There will be heritage statues and wall of names, along with a wealth of new facilities and activities. We are proud to have established 17 CCI sector cluster organizations whose formation was necessitated by persistent structural and systemic challenges facing the creative sector. This was extensively discussed. Under Program 3, Arts and Culture Promotion and Development, we are allocating 1.7 billion. Among the key challenges being addressed are the fragmentation and lack of coordination. What I want to say is that artists has been dying poor for 30 years and more. We can't be doing the same things over and over again. We are getting the foundation right. This will be supported by a budget of operationalization of 34 million. We understand the frustration of our creatives. Getting our creative cluster going again is #1 priority for us. The MGE open call has been completed and 152 successful applicants have received their grant letters. We need to move quickly and submit compliance. The department has received 350 million from the Presidential Employment Stimulus Program. The NFVF in particular will have to do things very differently. We will support the San and the Khoi languages. We've set aside 2 million for that. Through these priorities, South Africa stands to benefit by attracting international investment and partnerships. Before I finish, I must answer the million-dollar question I keep being asked. Are we going to financially compensate the people who have been winning at everything? The answer is unfortunately no. But if we give our many stars those bonuses, they will bankrupt the state with the way that they are just winning at everything. We are proposing here was that the House adopts this budget. We thank you, Honorable Chairperson. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Honourable Minister. The next speaker is the Honourable Makgato. I now recognize the honourable members. I now recognize the Honourable Minister of Sport, Arts and Culture to reply to the debate. Honourable Member, you had your opportunity. We heard you. The Minister can now respond to what you said.
All right. Thank you so much, Honourable Chair. I would start with Honourable Meshu I agree fully with you, Honorable Meshu, that it's an undeniable fact that Banyana Banyana should be paid the same as Bafana Bafana. And I will invite you to the next game to be my guest at the next Banyana Banyana game. I would then want to go to Honorable Van Zyl. Social cohesion is very important for this country. And it's true what you said that I didn't attend some of the portfolio committee meetings. There's no excuse for that. It's inexcusable, and I will do much better. You have my word. Honorable Ghana, I'll come back to you on that issue. I want Honorable Nkunu from MK. You know, money being sent back is a thing that's dead and buried. Money was sent back that time of Ubaba. But now it's the time of Mckenzie. There's no money that will be sent back. Yeah. To Honorable Lutuli, and I'm going to Nkandla next week to go and erect. We're going to do a combi court there. So I'm going to tell the people that you didn't vote for this combi court. You tried to prevent the combi court from being built. To Honorable Lutuli, you'll be very happy to hear that the rural areas is the main priority for us because it is a forgotten area. And we are going to focus on that mainly. Honorable Makato, thank you very much. I have learned from your words. It was indeed very, very, very wise words. You know, I want to go to Honorable Denner. Nasibou is die grootste ding waarmee ons te doen het as 'n nasie op die oomblik. Ons moet die nasie bou. Ons het nie 'n kans nie. Ons moet nie skaam kry oor Afrikaans. Afrikaans is 'n baie mooi taal en is 'n regmatige taal en is 'n taal wat gepraat word deur baie van ons. Naamsveranderings moet gebeur, maar dit moet so gebeur dat niemand voel hulle word leed aangedoen as ons die name van die plekke verander. En diegene wat nie die gedeelte sing van die stem, hulle sal moet gepenaliseer word of gearresteer word. Want as jy dis naamskending, as jy nie die stem, nog nooit in die geskiedenis van enige land, het mense gekry wat nie hulle volkslied, die national anthem sing nie. Dit kan nie wees nie. 'n gedeelte, hulle moet tronk toegestuur word, die tronk wat hulle so van praat die hele dag. Hulle moet to Dr. Litlapa, I want to say to you, you know, your words are deep, they are true, and they are visionary. You have aptly spoke about what this department should or could and must be. And I want to thank you greatly for those words. I take heed of them. The responsibility is much bigger than what most people realize in this department. I want to just quickly go to two issues quickly, and so I can end with to Honorable Muletsani. Your knowledge of this department is blowing me away, and thank you for always supporting the grassroots sports. You are always at matches, very at netball. I really appreciate, and I appreciate your words today. To Honorable Mglua, you know, colored guys are seen as gangsters, and we have been named all sorts of names. The fact that you have a problem with Dr. Links, a colored man that has risen to become a doctor, I shudder to think what you would think of normal colored people. Lastly, I want to come to Honorable Mtetwa. Honorable Mtetwa, your problem is you are trying to fight through me battles that you've lost when you're in the creative sector. You have lost those battles and you are trying to fight. You speak about my son having gotten a team. My son took his money, private money from his businesses and his deals to buy a football team, while your child got a bursary, while you couldn't pay for your own child's bursary. So leave my son out of your mouth. Because we are not the same. Your children get free bursaries. Mine get nothing. Lastly, gambling departments.
Honourable Minister, will you just take your seat, please?
Oh.
What is the point of order, Honourable Member? You can switch on your microphone.
I don't think it's prudent to allow the minister to speak about the Honourable Mthethwa's personal life here. It's unnecessary. If that's what we're going to degenerate to, we'll all be talking nonsense here. Please ignore that drunkard over there. Ignore that drunkard.
Honorable members, you see, take a seat, Minister. That's why we must be careful in our debating when we draw relatives into debates, because there will be a response. And the Minister is now responding to that. So let us, honorable members, be very, very careful. Let us debate with one another, about one another and our parties, but leave our children out of it. That can be done on a different platform. Honorable Minister.
Thank you so much. Lastly, the quick one, Honorable Ghana. We must sometimes be honest. PSL is the best run league in the whole Africa. What Dr. Khoza has done is phenomenal, but he couldn't have done that without gambling sponsorship. And what I'm trying to do as a minister, I'm trying to bring corporates back into sponsoring. We must be honest as leaders. We are the lawmakers. We need to make laws regarding gambling. But at the moment, I can tell already I will support gambling companies putting money into sport because
Honourable Minister,
I am a witness
your time is
to the
now
change.
expired.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Honourable members, you are reminded that debate on Vote 2 Parliament will take place in the Good Hope Chamber at 2 o'clock today in a hybrid plenary. That concludes the debate and the business of this mini plenary session, and the mini plenary will now rise.
Sure, I would do honestly.